Yesterday's L's, today's grind, tomorrow's wins. Hustle harder than excuses. Level up, run.
Today, let us discuss a property dispute that had national implications for Indian citizens. I am talking about the Supreme Court 1967 judgment in Golaknath versus State of Punjab. To know what is the case and how did it impact citizens of India, keep watching. This video will give you a refresher on the case and answer writing points for UPSC mains. In 1967, a family's fight to keep their land in Punjab turned into one of the biggest legal battles in India's history. The Golaknath case was not just about fields and property, it asked a massive question: can Parliament rewrite the constitution to strip away our fundamental rights? Let us break it down and see how this case changed India forever. Meet Henry and William Golaknath, two brothers who owned over 500 acres of lush farmland in Jalandhar, Punjab. Life was good until 1953, when the Punjab Security of Land Tenures Act came along. This law capped land ownership at just 30 acres per person, labeling the rest surplus for the state to take. For the Golaknaths, that meant losing almost everything they had. They did not take it quietly. The Golaknaths went to court, arguing that this law, and the constitutional amendments backing it, violated their fundamental rights. Under Article 19, they had the right to own property. Under Article 14, they deserved equality. Their fight boiled down to one big idea: should Parliament have the power to amend away those rights? By 1965, their case landed in the Supreme Court, facing a bench of 11 judges. The Golaknaths' lawyers argued that fundamental rights are untouchable, sacred pillars of the Constitution. They leaned on Article 13, which says any law violating those rights is void. Their point? That should include amendments too. The government fired back: Parliament can amend anything, it is our job to make reforms happen. It was a showdown between individual rights and state power. The arguments got heated. The Golaknaths said,
"If you let Parliament mess with our rights, what is left of the Constitution?"
The government replied,
"Amendments are not regular laws, they are above Article 13.
The stakes were sky high. On the 27th of February 1967, the Supreme Court gave its verdict. In a bench of 11 Supreme Court judges who heard this case, the decision was a razor-thin 6 versus 5 split. Meaning 6 judges in favor of petitioner Golaknath family and 5 in favor of government's power to amend constitution. Chief Justice Sabha Rao spoke for the majority.
Parliament cannot amend the constitution to weaken or take away fundamental rights of the citizens.
What this meant was that any amendment trying to interfere with fundamental rights would be struck down under Article 13. This was a game-changer decision that established primacy of fundamental rights for all citizens in India. But here is the twist: the court made this rule prospective, meaning it only applied to future amendments. Existing laws, like the Punjab Land Act, stayed untouched. So, what happened to the Golaknaths' land? Well, they won the argument but lost their 500 acres. For Golaknaths, this was a bittersweet moment. Imagine winning your case but losing out 500 acres of inherited family land. Let us unpack what this meant for everyone. For the government, it meant that Parliament's wings got clipped temporarily. They could not tamper with rights moving forward, but they were not happy about it. In 1971, they hit back with the 24th Amendment, saying, "We can amend anything we want, including rights." For the Golaknath family, well, they made history, but it did not save their farm. The Punjab law predated the ruling, so their land stayed surplus. A legal victory, but a personal loss. For the Indian citizens, this judgment sparked a debate about who really holds power, Parliament or the judiciary. It also paved the way for the Kesav Ananda Bharti case in 1973, which said the Constitution's basic structure, things like democracy and rights, cannot be touched by any amendment. So, what is the final takeaway? Well, the Golaknath case was a landmark case in newly independent India's attempt to strike a balance between fundamental rights of citizens by judiciary and powers of parliament in amending the constitution. A family lost their land but helped protect our rights. The government got a wake-up call, and citizens got a stronger constitution. It is a story of sacrifice, power, and the fight for what is fair. That is the Golaknath legacy, still echoing through India's courts today. What do you think, rights or reforms? Drop your thoughts below. Thanks for watching. Do like and subscribe if you found value.